Hello and welcome to the Child Care Business Coach podcast. So today I want to talk about why we need to thrive instead of just surviving. And this weekend I got to go speak at the Nevada AEYC conference and just really pour into some other owners and directors on how hard and stressful the day and age that we're living in is. And how it is that we can survive and we don't have to live in this atmosphere. So, I want to start off with a story, though, about a child that really changed everything for me. So, there was a little boy that went to my childcare center, and he was super excited one morning because it was an April morning and we had a snow day. And it's kind of ironic because as I was driving home from Las Vegas to the Reno area, I hit snow, and here we are in April. So, it happens here in Northern Nevada. And years ago, the children had a 2-hour delay and they had snow. So this child comes to me after school, 3 o'clock, getting back from the buses. He was a kindergartner. And he says to me, Miss Evelyn, I'm so excited. I got to open my Christmas presents today. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean you got to open your Christmas presents today? And I said, buddy, it's April. And he goes, yes, but I'm so busy all the time that I don't have time to play with my Christmas presents since I got them. So I got to open them at Christmas, but I never got to open the box and play with them. And as I talked to more children throughout the years, this actually happened quite a few years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. But over the years, that is something that has really stuck with me. And it's led me to realize how much we've stolen childhood from children. Part of the reason I work so hard to make sure that we are a thriving business and we are a thriving industry, right? So, my passion now is to help other childcare programs like yours to become thriving as well. Because what I realized during that time period, I got this really clear picture of what a child's life looks like. And it was a game changer for me. I want you to picture the children in your program, right? And demographics, I understand, are different. So I'm going to paint you the picture of the children in my program and my demographics. And these are very similar, give or take some time, to a lot of your children. And you may not even realize it. So these children are waking up early in the morning. They're getting dressed, eating breakfast as quickly as they can, and they're getting rushed off to school, right? And then for us, they're in my care, my child care center all day long. Some of them are driven to their elementary school, dropped off, and then we pick them up and bring them back, as in the case with Caleb, the little boy I was telling you guys about. Some of them stay with us all day long. They may get dropped off at 6:30 a.m. and picked up at 5:30 p.m. or dropped off at 7 and stay with us till 6. It's actually pretty common. And over the 20 odd years I've been doing this, nothing has really changed. So then their parents pick them up. And what happens then? Well, they run to the baseball field. They run to the softball field. They run to t-ball, jazz, cheer, football, you name it, soccer. But they've got all these extracurricular activities, right? How many of you can relate to this where the parents pick up the child and they use your bathroom to change them into whatever gear they're going to their ballet class or whatever, right? And so then that's over. And we're at what, 7:30 p.m.-ish? Now the parents have to figure out, how am I going to get dinner, right? So usually they go through a drive-through, or if they do cook, they're just rushing to get dinner down their child's throat to fill their stomach. Many of them don't even have time to think, am I actually giving my child nutrition, or am I just filling their stomach? And then they got to give them their bath and get them to bed. So at what point in that day did the child get loved and nurtured by their family? At what point? Well, my first thought was, they've got the weekend, right? They have the weekend with their family. So let's look at that. What happens on the weekend? Now, these parents are doing the best they can. They adore their children and they're trying to give them everything. So they're working these jobs and sometimes they're taking work home with them. I know several teachers who, after their children go to bed at night, they're working. A lot of executives, the same thing, right? They got to work. I do it all the time. Now my children are grown and flown, but now when I'm done with my chores and stuff, I still have to work on work sometimes after I'm done for the day. So the parents are exhausted during the work week. They haven't had time to do laundry. They haven't had time to sweep the kitchen floor. They probably have dishes stacked up, right? The groceries need to get done. And on top of that, you have family that wants to see you. Grandma and grandpa want to see the kids, right? Your mom and dad miss you. So the weekends are filled with chores and obligations. So again, at what point is anyone loving and nurturing these children? At what point in their week are they allowed to be a child? We know brain science has taught us that a child's brain grows by playing. That's how they learn. That's how they learn how to be functional adults that have social emotional competencies that get them through this world. They're executive brain functions, right? That we are so vitally dependent on. So we've basically stolen this from the children. We've stolen their childhood from them. And I think if you look at the workforce today, you can see the damage we have done. So many people do not have the resilience, they don't have the coping skills, and they're just trying to figure things out. So, why do I do what I do? Why do I go and speak and do things like today? I'm doing a free 5-day workshop. And if you're listening to the podcast and you're watching it or watching this in the future, you can still get the recordings. I do this because I want to give children their childhood back. And I know the more good and healthy programs that I help who understand what is best for a child and who incorporates play, love, and nurturing into their programs, they are filling that gap and they are giving children the love that they so desperately need and the brain development. So, yes, I have created an entire program based on my failures, based on where I messed up and figured out how to bounce back, based on the bankruptcy I had to face. And how is it that I figured it out and pulled myself back up again? And I've done it more than once. I've had many failures and I've worked through them. So now I want to give that to you for free. I want you to come to my 5-day free workshop on how to survive and thrive in any economy. Because I know that the work we do in early childhood education is the most important work in the world. It is literally the most important work in the world. And I know that we can change the world if we unite, but so many of you are exhausted. You don't know how to navigate through this anymore. So many of you are ready to throw in the towel because it's not, is it? For those of you, I want to invite you to my 5-day free workshop. Again, we can send you the recordings if you can't make it live. If you can make it live, 100% be there. You get so much more out of it. You can ask me questions and whatever, but make sure you join. It's time for us to stop trying to just survive. It's time for us to stop just trying to paddle our way through this industry. This weekend, I say this all the time. So you, my normal audience, knows, but I always talk about we are in a blockbuster era. And in childcare right now, in early childhood education, we get to have to make the decision. Are we going to be Blockbuster or are we going to be Netflix? The children need us. They need us. Think about the alternative. So if you're ready to thrive, make sure you join us. It is so vitally important. I hope you all have a wonderful week. And again, if you're watching this in the future and this hit your heart, please send us an email. Or if you're listening to us in the future, you might be listening to my podcast, please email us at admin@childcarebusinessprofessionals.com. I will put that link in the show notes so you will be able to find it. Reach out to us. We record all of these sessions, we keep the recordings, and I'm always pouring into the ECE community. So I'm sure there's something happening no matter how far in the future you're listening to this. There is some way we can help you. So make sure to reach out to us. And if you are watching live, let us know and make sure to sign up. We will put the sign up link in the comments and in the show notes. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everybody.